having a whole landscape as a lab is a little bit strange. Usually you think about a certain lab in a building. But a lab is a place where scientists can do science and research. So there's all the infrastructure that they need, maybe in a chemical lab. And we do it in a landscape scale. We have a lot of instruments installed in different places in the landscape that enable us to better understand a multitude of processes in the landscape. And it's an AgroScapeLab because this landscape is dominated by agriculture, but it's not only agriculture, it's forestry as well as small river systems, small settlements, and we do not ignore these other parts. We include those in our research. So the landscape labs that we have here at SALV is a little bit unique in a sense that we combine the idea of having observatories for environmental science. They do exist elsewhere, but they do this those observatories, they do not focus that much on agriculture. We do, we include agriculture. On the other hand, agronomy research usually is not focusing on landscapes. It's focusing more on the field scale or farm scale. So this is broadening the perspective. And the third aspect here is that we have a lot of small lakes and small streams that are part of the landscape, which are hotspots of biodiversity and greenhouse gas emission, etc. And they are closely connected to agricultural activities as well as to a multitude of environmental processes. And we look at this interplay. And this interplay as a focus of research, that's not done quite often on a global scale. So SALV decided to have a landscape lab there due to this intertwining between agriculture and other landscape elements, including freshwater systems on the one hand. On the other hand, there have been research activities in the region, but focusing only on agronomy and agricultural management in former times during the German Democratic Republic. And SALV builds on that work in a certain sense. There are data from that time, and we have infrastructure. So our research station has been part of these research activities in former times. And we make use of this, but now focusing on different aspects of landscape. Well, it's not easy to say how many scientists, technicians, plus additional staff are doing field work there. But we know that it's more than 30 projects that we had and still have in that region, and it's more than 120 papers that have been published from that region. And taking into account that usually it's more than just one working group writing a paper, get an idea about how many people have been involved so far, including those that live in the region, that do the farming, etc. So a basic research question is how to make agricultural land use more sustainable in terms of biodiversity, greenhouse gas emissions, etc. And to solve that problem, it would not be sufficient to focus on single topics, but we have to join forces, bring in knowledge together, and to better understand the interactions between different process activities and structural elements in the landscape.